Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for Mashin Sentai Kiramager episode 6. So this episode was probably one of my lesser favorites of the sort of string of character-focused episodes we've been getting, but I still think it was pretty solid. It was focused on Pink like I had been hoping because I felt she was the one that hadn't got focused yet. Obviously, we've been kind of going down the line, so everyone had been getting focused, but like some like Yellow kind of, I felt, got dual focus. Because he was kind of, his personality and aspects of him were kind of featured in some of the early episodes, so I felt Pink was the one we got to know the least, and so this was her focus episode. So, the premise was not a premise that's foreign to Toku or other shows where the character kind of gets de-aged in their head. She gets hit over the head during battle and thinks she's 5 years old, and so they kind of have to figure out how to deal with that. And on top of that, the monster of the week is like a classic monster that like does a camera or some other kind of capture that captures them in like another dimension inside of them or whatever, or like a little pocket dimension inside the monster. So they're like already down some team members because you only have Yellow and Red, and then you have Pink technically, but she's 5 years old, so they kind of have to try to figure out how to deal with that. So it's filled with a ton of Sentai cliche plot lines within just one episode, but I still think I like the way they played it for the most part. I mean, the start of the episode just kind of hammered home like Pink's resolve in life and death situations, and that she gets really serious and, you know, won't let it be that and will save people. And I thought the episode honestly was going to be about her having a hard time dealing with difficult situations the Rangers were in, because she's like unable to accept, like, not accept life and death situations, but accept like bad outcomes or something. I don't know. I thought it was going to be something different. And I forgot about the whole de-aging thing. And it more so wound up being about us finding out how she came to have such a resolve, which is when she was little and she was training at this karate dojo. She witnessed like this construction thing where this dog almost got hurt, and she saved the dog. And like in that moment, even though she was like more of an insecure kid, like, you know, basically a normal 5-year-old, when there's a life and death situation, she kicks into high gear and has like a strength and resolve, and from that moment on, it like started to solidify her resolve and her resolve to save things and people, which is, you know, because she saved a dog and she wanted to save lives. And so that was kind of that moment. So we learn about that, and we go back to like the dojo she studied at, in which her sensei was, I think it was Goshi from Zyuranger. He looked at least kind of like him, if it wasn't him. I should have probably looked that up before I filmed this. And I should probably look it up afterwards, but I probably won't because I'm lazy. But it looked like Goshi from Zyuranger if it wasn't him. But that's how they find out about it, because Jiru's whole idea is like, oh, we can still make use of her even though she's 5. That sounded weird. But I mean, like, she can still fight for us, and like, in a way, that's absolutely nonsense. It's kind of irresponsible, for being honest. But I did kind of like the way it ended up playing out. Kind of, again, showing Jiru's quality of leader is less about strategy and fighting, and it's kind of more about being in tune with his teammates. And he sort of saw that, you know, if we can activate that determination in her, she can still help us out in some way, and like the resolve that we know from her is still in there. And I kind of liked that in a way, because it was kind of a neat way of showing us how her personality was formed when she was younger and how her resolve was formed through this sort of narrative device. But there's a couple little nitpicks I have. One, like I said, I didn't mind this. I thought it was kind of a nice twist on it, and I liked her actually stepping up to the plate and then morphing, and there's like a funny bit where she has like a wrong, childlike version of the roll call. But I liked that. But I thought it was rather irresponsible for Jiru to then also get himself captured because he knew she was going to save them. Like, right before that, they had Yellow get captured because they had this plan of like, we have that white crystal from last week that's like, oh, it can track us. So like, oh, if we get captured, it can track us and then we can save us all. So Yellow purposely got captured, but then Red did too, because he knows Yellow's gonna save him, Pink's gonna save him. But I thought that was honestly kind of irresponsible and stupid, because even if he does have that belief in her, I think it was a good idea to have a contingency plan and have somebody out there. And he really added no value in being kidnapped with him. Like, all he did was pick up Blue off the ground. Anybody could have done that. I thought that was kind of stupid. Stupid Toku nonsense decision. And then also, obviously, the plan of the episode was to show her character by showing her stepping up to the plate despite being 5 years old in her head. So, like, obviously, this was the main point of the episode. But when you're thinking about the meta rules, if Red's imagination is so good, why didn't he just turn his mecha into a helicopter? Because the whole point of them needing her help outside of her just helping was that they needed Helico to go up to fight the big monster because it was up in the sky. And so they needed the flying mecha. But Juru already turned his mecha into a car in the first episode and then into a fire truck, and they make a big deal about his imagination being some next level shirt. Why wouldn't he just turn it into a helicopter? Then they can sell another exclusive campaign toy that comes with orders sometimes. Again, obviously I get what they were going for in the episode, but logically, since they make such a big deal about it, you'd think they would have just had him make his mecha a helicopter. But the point is she ends up saving them, and then they use the auxiliaries together and defeat the monster, and her memory ends up coming back at the end because she gets hit on the head when she's playing with Brawhead. It's kind of funny because usually these types of episodes have something like the memory loss happen because of the monster of the week, but in this case, it wasn't because of his power. So like when the monster was defeated, it wasn't resolved, so they're like, we might have to deal with this forever. But then it was resolved at the end. But like I said, I thought it was a solid and entertaining episode. I liked the insight we got into Pink's character. I didn't mind what they did and the way they did it, kind of using a Toku trope to tell us about the character. There were just a little bit of logic issues I had with it, and I didn't think it was a bad episode or anything. I just, for whatever reason, it was one of the weaker focused ones for me, but I still think it was solid. Next week looks like it's going to be good. We'll probably be getting the debut, or at least the beginnings of the debut of the new mecha as the Dino Train's back, and they're definitely setting up that white crystal to be the other part of it, not to mention the toys coming out, so it should all be lining up soon. Meaning, like, all the episodes have been, I think, important so far. Like, we've been debuting stuff, learning stuff about the characters, and it's all felt well-paced. And what I appreciate about them devoting an episode each to the characters is I feel like I have a firmer grasp on who they are as characters, more so than I did with the Ryu Soldiers by, like, the end of the series. So I'd overall give this episode a 7.5, a solid outing. What did you guys think? Did you enjoy the episode? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you can get the notifications from my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.